Hello, amazing fourth graders. Over the past few days, you all have been working on an app called Book Creator to make a book that is all about you. Now, I've asked you to make different pages around different aspects of your personality or things that you like your favorite pets, your favorite places to go, your favorite things to do with your family, maybe even something about you that we didn't know before. So because this book is all about you, chances are it's really personal. That's why before we share them in our small groups today, I want to make sure that we take a minute to learn about how to share and how to give feedback. So today when you share your book, we know that this is something that you've been working hard on and that is very personal to you. So when you share it, I want you to remember to say it proudly. When we present, we want to use a presentation voice. That's a little bit louder than our conversation voice. It's not necessarily an outside voice, but it's definitely one where I'm projecting, I'm confident, and I'm trying to convey that I believe in my writing. Something else to think about is making sure that you value your listeners' time. So we want you to make sure that you share your writing proudly, clearly, and efficiently. We're not going to be wanting to kind of be hemming and hawing and delaying and saying, well, I actually, and then I thought, and just kind of wandering all over with your thinking. Use your time where you're sharing wisely and respectfully so that the people that are listening to you know that they should focus, and then when you're done, they can take a break. That really helps with your listeners' stamina of being able to concentrate on what you're saying and not have to wait as we're meandering all over the place. So we're going to project our voice with confidence, and we're going to honor our listeners by being efficient and clear with our time. Now, the third thing I want you to keep in mind when you present is that when you finish, it's really nice to thank your audience for their attention. You could say something like, "Thank you for listening," or "Thank you for hearing my story." And then, if you're willing, I'd love for you to open it up for any comments. So you could say, "Does anyone have any questions?" or "Does anyone have any comments?" So when you're finished reading your story confidently and efficiently, we are then going to tell our audience, "Thank you so much for listening. Does anyone have any comments or questions?" Then it's the audience's turn. So let's talk a little bit about how we should listen. Because these stories are so personal, we want to make sure that we show that we're listening with our whole body. If somebody's sharing something that is really special about them, they probably won't feel very respected and heard if we're slouching in our seat or looking out the window or playing with our pen or a toy that we have nearby or putting our faces right up to the screen. We want to make sure that whoever is presenting is getting a chance to shine. We don't want to take any of that attention away by being distracting with our body or being disrespectful with our body. So when we're listening, we want to sit up. We want to show that we're engaged. You could even consider slanting, right? Sitting up, leaning forward, asking questions in your head. If you have a good one, you could always say it out loud at the end. Nod if you understand so that the person who's speaking knows that you hear them. And track them, meaning your eyes are on the speaker. Another way that we can be respectful is by thinking as the person is sharing about any connections that you make. If I'm hearing somebody share something about them and I have a connection, that might be something that will bond us together later. So if somebody says that their favorite book is the same favorite book that I have, I can go and talk to them and say, "You like that book? Me too. Let's be friends." Another thing that you could think about while you're listening is any questions or suggestions you might have. So at the end, when the presenter finishes and they say, "Thank you for listening, any comments or questions?" you can raise your hand and give some feedback. Let's take a minute to think about what feedback should sound like. One recommendation I always make is to give a compliment and a suggestion. A compliment is something that is going to encourage our writer. You're telling them something that they're doing right, that they should continue doing. So when you're giving that feedback, it really helps if you can be as specific as possible. Some ideas that might be vague, not specific at all, would be like, I really liked it, or it was really good. If we are being specific with our compliments, we could say things like, I really liked the part in the story when you told me about a memory that you had. It really helped me create a visual in my mind where I could see what you were seeing in that moment, or I could feel what you could feel. Another specific compliment you might give for an All About Me book could be, I love all the details that you shared. You gave me a lot of things to think about to get to know you better. Some other compliments might be, I really love all the descriptive words you used, or I really like how many sentences you included. You really wrote a lot and you worked really hard. You could also compliment on the visuals that they included or all the different elements from Book Creator that they tried out and incorporated. There's lots of ways that we can give specific encouragements to our writers so that they keep trying and continue to feel encouraged to do their best. Now, when it comes to giving suggestions, that can be a little bit touchier, right? We want to maybe give some feedback that will help our writer grow. But this is not a place where we give any put downs or say anything negative that's going to make the writer feel bad about themselves or about the work that they've just presented to everyone. Some ideas of saying suggestions could start off with a phrase like, have you thought about adding? Or, I know a really great writer who does this. Maybe you could try it. You could also say, in that one part, it would be great if you added another detail or another adjective or another description. You can give specific feedback when you're giving suggestions, just like we give specific compliments. So whether you're presenting tomorrow or listening tomorrow, please keep all of these expectations in mind so that we can make sure that people feel encouraged and start to feel a sense of community in our group where we can trust each other and share our work together with a positive experience. I'll see you later today in small groups where we'll share our All About Me books. Bye, everybody.